This is a Wave Podcast.
Reinventing Ourselves Career Journeys is a podcast series that showcases real-life stories of people who have successfully reinvented themselves through their careers. People who have overcome adversity, found new purpose, explored new horizons, and followed their passion. Hi, welcome to Reinventing Ourselves. I'm Eric Major. The Brazilian dog guru shows us that it is possible to follow your dreams and convert a lifelong passion into a viable career. Fernando enjoyed traveling the world working with Club Med and built solid business skills within the hospitality and automotive fields. But nothing beats the satisfaction of working with what you love. Settling in British Columbia, he focused on local networking, honing his English, and becoming certified as a dog trainer. Reinventing Ourselves Career Journeys.
Hello, I'm Lori, your host for today's episode of Reinventing Ourselves Career Journeys. Today we'll be exploring the career of Fernando, the Brazilian dog guru from Kamloops, British Columbia. Hello, Fernando, and welcome.
Hello. Thank you for having me here.
Today, after having worked in 5 different countries in the hospitality and automotive industry, you're now known as the Brazilian dog guru.
Correct.
So let's get back to the beginning. Tell us a little bit about where you are from, what you studied, and what career plans you had upon graduation.
I was born in Salvador, Bahia, Brazil. I finished high school. To be honest, my dream was to live on a farm when I was 12 years old, but things changed my life. Yeah, my dad used to have a cocoa farm, and then unfortunately my parents got divorced and they sold the farm. And yeah, and then I decided that I want to become a dog trainer when I was 15, 16 years old. To be a dog trainer in Brazil, it's really hard because there is not a lot of rules in terms of how to behave there. When I was 21, 22 years old, I did different jobs in Brazil. I worked in a beer company. I worked making parties. And then when I was 22 years old, I started to work in this resort around the world called Club Med. I worked for 7 years in different countries. When I was 29 years old, I had an opportunity to come to Canada. And soon that I stepped in the country, I started to make things to happen to become a dog trainer. I have been in Canada for 17 years. I moved to Kamloops after 1 year being in Canada. So I have been pretty much helping people with their dogs for 15 years.
So when you first arrived in Canada, did you come here specifically to work in the dog training field?
It's not that I was tired to work in Club Med, but I was ready to move on with my next adventure. And my idea was I want to be a father. So I left Club Med and I came to Canada because this lady that I have met in Mexico, Cancun, she's from Vancouver, and we were together for 3 years and I had 2 kids.
Oh, nice. Congratulations.
Thank you. When I moved to Canada, the first year, we lived in Vancouver, and because I was getting my papers ready, I didn't have the authorization to work in the country. When I moved to Kamloops after 1 year being in Canada, I forced to work in the hotel industry, but just carrying luggage like a bellman. And then after 6 months, I enjoy dealership here in town that I start washing cars, and then they gave me opportunity to look after the 6 people there and be a little bit more responsible with some different type of work like inventory, all the things that relate to the dealership. And I did that for 2 years. And then after we split, then everything that I had done in terms of work here was just prepare myself for what I want to be, that was a dog trainer.
When you experienced the need or the desire for change, what obstacles did you encounter?
I live my life, I go with the wind. I never try to stop what's supposed to happen with me. I never close the doors. And the main thing for me when I moved to Canada and I start putting project, my dream to become a dog trainer, was that nobody could believe that I could make that as a career, especially because my English was really bad at the time. It's still very bad, but at the time was really complicated to communicate with people. And because I had the 2 kids and because I was going through a divorce, so everybody was pretty much saying, Fernando, you can train dogs in a weekend. And I always said, I want to train dogs every day. And in the weekend, I'm going to have a time off. I want to make that a full-time job. And I didn't have a lot of people that believe in me. But at the same time, I didn't care because I never listen to anybody anyways. I just, whatever put in my head that I want to achieve, I just listen to myself and I make it happen.
So you needed a good dose of positive thinking to get past the naysayers.
I live my life in a positive thing. Doesn't matter where I live, I always put something in the wall in my house that pretty much says life is not about to wait the storm to pass, it's about to learn to dance into the rain. So you're going to have good days and you're going to have bad days. What matter is whatever coming in front of you, you needed to still have fun. You still have to understand that's what life made, good and bad moments.
That's a very inspiring motto. It sounds like it's your credo or your motto for life. Did you encounter any other obstacles other than battling the naysayers?
Yeah, the main thing was the believing of people around me and have the supporters to help me to achieve my dream. The another thing too was to be able to come to a city where there is a lot already dog trainers and to be able to promote myself, because I came here, I didn't have any family, I didn't have any friends that could support me in terms of promote me. I was by myself. And what I did to expose my work around people was going for free in lots of dog parks around town. Sometimes when people was struggling with the dog, I introduce myself. I say, hey, can I show you a little bit what you could do? And I used to go a day in 2-3 different dog park. I used to go to pet stores on Sundays. So I did a lot of volunteer dog training. So those people that I helped before, they became my followers and my promoters because they saw what I could do with their dogs.
That sounds like a very logical marketing plan.
Well, a lot of people say that they want to do whatever they want to do, but they want to be right away on the top. There is the investment, time invest. There is lots of people going to try to bring you down. Who's that guy that come here? He think himself that he's already dog trainer and blah, blah, blah. Lots of negativity. But the way that I do on my Facebook today, I have probably 75 people that it's blocked. I like criticism, but with some positive on top.
You also mentioned that you studied to become a certified dog trainer.
Here in Canada, one of the things is we need to have certification. Like, it's very important for whatever you want to do, you need to have that piece of paper on a wall. So I wrote myself ABC Animal College. That's like 2 years course. And pretty much they're going to teach you just the basics of the basics in terms of dog training. I had to go to Vancouver, to Kelowna, to meet some mentors, to finalize my certification. When I did that, it was more to having a paper on a wall because I was already training dogs. You don't become a dog trainer just studying books. It was important. The way that you will learn how to become a dog trainer if you spend time with dogs, understand body language, understand that every dog, every breed, they're bred for some kind of work. So I went to a kennel and I worked for a year for free just to be able to be around dogs. And that for me was my biggest school.
Fernando, knowing what you know today, if you were speaking with someone who wanted to follow in your footsteps, what advice would you give?
Don't listen to anybody. Believe in yourself. Don't become a lazy and wait that the opportunity is going to fall on your shoulder. You go after. Wake up every day with the idea that I'm going to do this, I'm positive, and make it happen. And understand that before you become the president, the best thing to do is become the janitor of the company that you're going to become a president. You need to understand all the process. So when you're the president, if you hire somebody to be the janitor, you know the challenge they're going to go through. And you also know the expectation, what he could do in terms of clean stuff like that, because you already have that. So I pick up so much dog poo. You understand? So when I go to my facility and I have my 6 employees there, I tell them, I say, look, I can say that because I have done that. Not that, do it and just create the expectation. And sometimes the most important thing too, I show them. It's not just say, hey, clean the room, because everybody has a different expectation. The room clean for you, maybe it's not the clean for me. But once that I show you, and I reinforce what I would like to see it, then you can expect that person is going to do a job that you expect.
And again, knowing what you know today, is there anything that you might have done differently?
None. I love my life. I tell people that nobody needs to come and tap my shoulder and say, you have done good. I do that to myself every day. I recognize all the challenge that I had. I went through some darkness in my life, but the two things that gave me always the motivation in my life were my two kids. Whenever I thought that the words against me, I just look after them. I just think about them and just make sure that they're going to have one day a father they're going to be proud of.
That's amazing. You give us such positivity. I'm sure that people listening have been taking some notes about things, not only what you've done specifically and technically, but also your mindset about counting on yourself and believing in yourself. I think that kind of advice is worth its weight in gold.
That's the way that I lead my life.
That's tremendous. Very inspiring words. I think that's been very helpful. I'd like to thank you for sharing your personal story with us, Fernando, and for all of the advice that you've shared. And I hope that there's lots of dogs that are looking for you for training in your future.
Hope to that too. Amen to that.
Reinventing Ourselves Career Journeys is realized by BRZ Group Inc. This project was made possible through the generous support of Ontario Creates.
For more Wave podcasts, go to waveplus.ca.